Are you sure you can handle the bill? You need a man to pay the rent. Why do they think you need to be married before you can get an apartment? The first time I went in search of an apartment, after being all excited about the house I got, because it was looking all good, all clean and all, it was time to meet with the landlord to get to know each other and I get to make payments. Then the first question the landlord asked me was,
Are you married? I said no. He said, you can't give me. How do I get to pay? And in my head, I'm like, I just told you, yo, I'm an event planner. Is that not enough for me to foot my bills?
I was like, excuse me, if I'm a working class, if I have a good business and I can afford to pay for an apartment, why can't I? Why does it have to be a man's job?
I wanted to rent an apartment in Akure. So I spoke with my agent, who happens to be my landlord then. So he told me, he said, he got one for me in Obaile Estate. And I said, okay, no problem. Let me just come and see the place. So I went there. I didn't know my landlady was upstairs looking at the, the agents, bringing in people to check their house. It was a sexy. So we came out and the landlady asked him and said, is she single or married? So he was like, he doesn't know. He didn't want to give her a direct answer. And he said, I don't know. I will have to ask her. So we left before he came out. So he called me, said, do I really like the house? I said, yes. Said, then how we have to pretend to the landlady that I'm married, but my husband is not in Nigeria. He said, since your fiance, my then fiance was not in Nigeria, that I will have to tell the landlady that, yes, I'm married, but my fiance is not in Nigeria. So I was like, why do I have to lie? I'm not married. We're not even engaged. It's just my boyfriend. It's not even my fiance. She's educated, and in fact, she's a professor, and she understands my kind of job, and she doesn't have any issue with my job. It was just the marital status. She made hell out of life for us. Everything was just, she was not pleased. I didn't finish my 1 year at the apartment. I had to vacate because it was from one problem to the other. There was a time she locked us out. She asked the gatesman to lock us outside because we didn't come in before our time. She gave us 10 p.m. that after 10 p.m. you cannot come into the house. She will ask the gateman to release our dogs. And we're not used to the dogs, so we have to stay outside. So if you're trying to talk to the gateman, she will tell the gateman to not respond to us. So there was one of these that we went for my mom's, I think it was my mom's 50th birthday. We were coming from Ekiti. On our way coming, the vehicle we developed some faults approaching Akure. So when we got to Akure, I said, okay, I'm going to take you guys home because it's late. It was around 11. So when I got to my house, I texted Izuma, well, sorry, ma, I sent her a picture, like it was my mom's birthday. We're just coming from Ekiti. She didn't read, she didn't acknowledge. I told the gateman had to beg me that, auntie, you are a very nice person, but mama will sack me. Even the apartment I got after that had to be like, it was like a godmother recommending me, like, she had to write a letter. Like, I know this person very well.
I just had to quit the whole has such thing. It's not like my parents chased me out of the house. Sha. Now me they find freedom.
Most times if you go to all the suburbs and ask them or letting them know that you want to rent an apartment, which is most likely going to be a single room or a 2-bed or even a self-contained, as the case may be, they will have to ask you, if at all they are going to consider you, they would have to ask what kind of job you do, and your guarantor must be a very solid person in his or her workplace. If not, it won't be given to you because they look down on single ladies now.
I feel if you don't want people in your space, you can maintain your space for yourself only. Like, the compound is big enough for you can just demarcate your own apartment and give us a space. Let's have our space, and you have your space to yourself. And And that's it. You won't have any issue with anybody. Nobody comes into your space.